Let's go racing! It's Super Mario Kart Funny Car Madness! Only on Super NES! Turn the track into a giant mud pit! Or burn rubber on ice, wood, or asphalt! Mix it up for the big boys! See Bowser in his Bigfoot chopping truck! See Yoshi's go-kart grilling go! Mushrooms, banana peels, turtle shells! Dynamite! Check your rear view and make a neat test! Or go into battle mode and ruin his day! Too speed! Fast and way too fast! It's two-player fun on the split screen! Only for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System! Now you're playing with power, superpower!
Hey everybody, Console Collector here. Today, I want to take you back to the holiday season of 1992. Me and my siblings just got a brand new Super Nintendo for Christmas. As you can see at the beginning of this video, that was 7-year-old me and my little sister very excited about Super Mario Kart. Now, I recently found a box of old VHS tapes, and this is one that I found here, and it says Home Movies, Christmas 1992, After Christmas 1993, and then Callaway Park, which is a theme park here, my local city, and then Summer 1994. So after popping this tape in and watching it one night, I saw the Christmas of 92, including what you saw at the beginning of the video. So I thought it would be interesting to share my memories of that time period with you guys on the channel. Now, if you looked carefully in the background of that beginning clip behind my sister and I, you can see a little tube TV. That TV, I've been searching for the model, that exact model of that TV for many years. That little TV has so many memories to me and nostalgia. We played all our NES games on that and our Super NES games. And being 4 kids in our family, we always had to take turns on it, mainly because we all loved our video games. So our mom got us that little TV to play our games on, so we wouldn't be hogging the main TV all the time. So I actually recently found that exact model TV this past weekend, and I couldn't believe it. I got one that is in perfect shape. It works awesome. No issues with it whatsoever. So with all that combined with the home videos and that TV, that is why you're seeing this video today. So when we got the Super Nintendo, we got the Super Scope with it, as you can see there. And we also got 4 games: Pilot Wings, Super Mario World, Battle Clash, and Super Mario Kart. I've beaten all 4 of these games, and more than once. They're just some of the most nostalgic Super Nintendo games for me. Alright, so let's just take a quick look at the little TV. So here it is. It's not much to most people. It's just an old little tube TV. But again, to me, this TV has so many memories behind it. This TV is a Hitachi 1981 CRT. It features this really nice smooth wood grain, along with the trim along here. It's got a whopping 13 channels. And I remember when we weren't playing games on it, if we didn't want to watch what someone else was watching, we would play with the rabbit ears and try to cycle through the different channels trying to pick up a TV show. It had this dial on it too, and as a kid I never knew what this dial did, and honestly I don't even know what it does today. And at the bottom here you got your color, tint, bright, and picture options there. So yeah, this TV I looked for many years, and I'm beyond happy to finally have gotten one. So to turn it on, you pull this little knob here. It's also adjust your volume. And you power on your NES and play. So I was one of those kids that would sit on the carpet in front of the TV and just play these games. So I thought I would share some memories and the games that I played on this TV with you guys as well. So I'm going to leave you here with a clip of my older brothers playing some Super Scope in 1992 on this TV. And then after that, we'll take a look at some of the games that we played on this TV.
You quit gawking in the camera, or quit gawking at the Nintendo, and Brenny, Brent.
Too many miles are between.
So what? I'm trying to take your picture. Now this is 1992 ain't gonna be here again, so get with it. Never mind Nintendo. I'll shut it off on you and then you won't get to play it. I want to take your ugly mug.
Alright, so now I'm going to share with you a lot of the games that we played on the little Hitachi TV. Some of these games we'd borrow from friends, we'd rent, or we owned. So to kick it off, I'm going to start with some of my earliest gaming memory games here. So we had Mega Man 2. This game I never beat as a kid. I was mainly watching my older brothers play it, and they beat it, but yeah, Mega Man 2. Very nostalgic. And then the game that everybody had, Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt. Who didn't have Super Mario Bros. 2? Very nostalgic. And of course, Mario Bros. 3. Now these next 5 are definitely my earliest gaming memories. North and South. This game, which I didn't know at the time, basically started my love for strategy games. Ghostbusters 2. I was a big Ghostbusters fan as a kid, and I didn't actually mind this game. I fortunately missed the first game, but yeah, this one I enjoyed. And I've beaten it recently. It's not that bad. Here's a game that nobody talks about, but it's The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Yeah, I like this game, and I again recently beat it. I think it's a great game. Kind of a hidden gem, honestly. And River City Ransom. This game, me and my brothers would always play together, and we never beat it. We got stuck, I remember, before, like, we couldn't get into high school. I want to revisit this because I still haven't beaten this game. And then finally here, Clash of Demon Head. This game, I just remember wandering around, not knowing what to do. It was very frustrating as a 7-year-old me, but yeah, this is one of my earliest gaming memories. And I made it a personal goal of mine to beat this game, and I did it a few months ago. So, happy about that. Some of the games we had as a kid, which I'm actually lucky, because I know most people didn't have this many games. We weren't rich, still not, but my mom had a friend that worked in a warehouse, and at the time I didn't know this, but I'm pretty sure like he was stealing games from the warehouse and bringing them home to us, because we'd get games every, like, I don't know, a couple months, and I didn't know where they came from. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he was stealing games out of the warehouse. But we had games like Dig Dug 2, Narc, another really fun game that me and my brothers would play. It was actually pretty violent. I was, I think, slightly traumatized by that game. Paperboy. Me and my mom loved playing this game together. Total Recall. This is another game that I just couldn't beat as a kid, and I made it my biatch, and I beat it recently. I am working through beating all my childhood games, ones that really sucked the life out of me when I was young. Star Tropics. My first kind of taste of RPGs. Kiwi Craze. Another game that's not really talked about. I now know that this is basically a New Zealand story, but it was called Kiwi Craze here. Yonoid. This is another game that I played a lot with my brothers. the pizza eating contest. That was something else. Jaws. I know it has a bad rap, but yeah, I actually beat this game as a kid, and I was quite proud of myself at the time. Chippendale Rescue Rangers, the first one. This is a game that we started off renting, and then when the rental store went out of business, we ended up actually buying the rental copy. So yes, that's a really fun game. Nostalgic. Snoopy's Silly Sports Spectacular. Now this particular game I remember because my mom bought it at like, if you're Canadian, you'll know the store, but Canadian Tire. It's basically like an automotive / like housewares kind of tool store here in Canada. And they used to sell video games. And I remember we went there one time and my mom bought us Snoopy. I don't know why I remember that, but this here is a non-official NES game. American Video. Crazy Creatures. It's a puzzle game. This game I remember we got from the flea market for a couple bucks, and yeah, I actually love this game. It's really, really fun. It's a great puzzle game. And then we have A Nightmare on Elm Street. I love the music in this game. This is a game I could never beat, but it was 4-player. But guess what? We didn't have a multi-tap, so we couldn't all play together. But yeah, my brothers used to play this a lot, and I wasn't supposed to, but I still did. And I turned out fine. And then finally, for games we owned, it was Time Lord. Now this game is super cheap nowadays, but you basically go through time on different levels, Western and like medieval and stuff. I beat this as a kid, and that was such an achievement. And I actually recently beat it again, and yeah, I was like, wow, that was really short. It seemed way longer when I was a kid. But yeah, this is actually not a bad game. Nobody ever talks about it. Before I get to my favorite NES game and most nostalgic, I just wanted to show a couple games that I used to borrow from my friends that are fairly nostalgic. That's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. We had friends that would bring over games, and this is one I remember playing with everybody. And we just begged that could be 4-player, but you know what? It wasn't. What a missed opportunity. Blaster Master, my middle brother, the one that you saw actually playing the Super Scope, his friend brought this over one time and we played it. And I remember that he left it there and never came back for it. And Bucky O'Hare. Yeah, I was a lucky kid that got to play this as a kid. I loved the TV show. I had the action figures and stuff. And yeah, my older brother, Sean, which you may have seen in the video, not playing Super Scope, he was big into Bucky O'Hare with me, and yeah, he borrowed this from a friend and we got to play it. I remember it was very hard and we didn't get anywhere, but now another thing we got to do is we rented a lot of games. So that's where these come into place. These here are the Permastruct rental cases. We used to walk over with a couple bucks and we'd rent NES games. Not really, we had tons of games, but it was always fun to rent something we didn't have. And one of those rental games that we would rent a lot was Silver Surfer. This game is extremely difficult, and like we never beat it when we were kids, but we loved to rent it and try. We'd get a little further every time we try. What's unique about these Permastruct cases is it basically has the instruction manual printed out onto the case here, which was pretty handy for renting because you never had the manual. So we used to walk in and see just rows and rows and rows of these Permastruct cases. And you know, you'd take it and it'd be an empty case here like Mike Tyson. You could open it up and read about it, see if you wanted to rent it, take the empty case up to the counter and check it out. So yeah, I love to collect these Permastruct cases just because they are so nostalgic for me. Alright. One other quick thing I want to talk about was our family was a bunch of big fat cheaters. We had a Game Genie. And it was really fun to mess around in games that we completed, or games like Bucky O'Hare that we couldn't complete and get infinite lives and stuff. Yeah, so The Game Genie, very nostalgic for us. It was fun having moon jumps and all that. I just hated putting the codes in, or my sister would come along and bump the NES and it'd freeze and you have to enter all the codes in again. So, alright, the most nostalgic and my favorite NES game even today is Snow Brothers. This game, me and my mom would play a lot, and you know, it holds a really special place in me. Yeah. I love this game. It's a lot of fun. Beating it so many times. And yeah. Playing Snow Bros on the little Hitachi TV, it just doesn't get any more nostalgic than that. Alright. So, that's pretty much it. Christmas 1992 was a great time for me and my gaming memories. Picking up the Hitachi TV recently and finding that home video just really brings me back to such a great time. So I want to finish this video off and leave you with a bit of just random home video-ness I found on there. It's basically myself and my brothers and my sisters in the video and a couple of my cousins over at our grandma's house, and we're playing Game Boy. So yeah, I'm going to leave you guys with that. I want to thank you guys all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this unique video. And until the next video, happy gaming.
Introduce everybody, Shayna. Go behind you. There's Hunter. And then there's Natasha.
Wow.
Yeah, because this is live.
This is live and they can hear you.
Well, there's Lumptuck Butthead. And there's Toad.
It's Butthead.
Well, Cody, your turn. How come you're not acting silly? Everybody's into Game Boy.
Natasha, what's